I was going to mow my backyard, but it rained last night, pardon me, and it rained this morning, so my backyard is still quite boggy, and that's my excuse for not mowing it. Instead, I'm going to do more gun stuff, which is much more pleasurable and interesting than mowing. I've got a pretty big backyard, and I use a push mower to keep fit. Well, yeah, because my backyard is it's too small for a ride on. It's probably a little bit too big for a push mower, so I could get a self-drive one, but you know, that's for lazy people. You know, just push it around. Yeah. So I'm drinking water because not because I'm ill or anything's wrong, but because I'm thirsty. I can't drink beer all the time, and I do like water, believe it or not. Now, the gun that I'm going to work on is my Israeli Mauser. Now, previously I said that I was not going to touch it. I was not going to do anything to it. But I really do need to disassemble it just to check out where any unseen rust is, because I did find a little bit of rust here and there previously, and God knows what's underneath, which is the worst spot for it, because that gets the least attention. Because you don't, you know, a lot of the steel work is hidden under wood. Now, what I'm going to do, because I was so successful in reducing the weight and improving the trigger of the Spanish Mauser, cavalry carbine, I'm going to reduce the weight on this, on the trigger, because the trigger on this is, let's have a look. Yeah, ready? It's got a massive take up. It's 8 pounds 10 ounces. So now this is a really accurate gun. When I reduce the weight of this trigger, ready? It's got a massive take, 8 pounds 1 ounce, 1.5 ounces. Now this is, like I said, this is a really accurate rifle. So with with an 8 pound plus trigger, 7 pounds 12, so it's about 8 pounds. Now that's only 1 pound less than the Spanish cavalry carbine, which is still pretty heavy. Mind you, this trigger is nicer. I don't know whether that's because it's 98 trigger or what, but it's much smoother. It's got a massive take up, and then you know it's going to break. It's not super crisp, but it is pretty good. That's probably the best military trigger, except for the K11 is the best trigger, military trigger that I've tried. You know, I haven't had that many mil serps, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to disassemble this thing, because you've got to pretty much disassemble it to get to the trigger. So first things first, so I'm going to speed this up because it's going to be pretty boring. So yeah, and getting sped up from now. Alright, so I've got it apart. One nice thing about the stock is that there's no splits, which is good. One of the main reasons is because of the crossbolt. It does have the crossbolt there that abuts to the back of the recoil lug. Now, I couldn't get this bayonet lug off because the pin, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It looks, when they converted it from a Gewehr 98 to a Kar 98, it looks like they did some sort of, because there's a pinhole there in the stock. That might have been for a barrel band or something. I don't know what story is there. Maybe someone can enlighten me on the Israeli Mauser conversion from Gewehr 98 to Kar 98, or conversion from Gewehr 98 to Kar 98. Pardon me, some water. Now, let's have a look at it. Yeah, okay. That's interesting. It's very interesting. How is that attached? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Alright. So, there's no real serious rust underneath, which I'm surprised. There is some here, or is that just crap off the no, it's rust. Now, so the trigger on the 98 looks exactly the same as the 95. So exactly the same. So I'll measure it. Yeah, I'll measure the weight of it when it's out of the stock. See if that same peculiarity of it being heavier when it's in the stock is the same with this one. So it was 8 pounds before. Ready? Clear. Ready? £6.10. So it would appear that this is strange. Not strange. There's obviously something. Ready? £7. Yeah, so it's about a pound less when it's out of the stock. So there's obviously some sort of effect that the stock has. What exactly, I don't know. Where it's impinging or whatever, I've really no idea. Doesn't really matter. Now, this front band, I've got to do a bit of, not that one, sorry, this one. This front band has been, it was a bit hard to get off, and quite clearly, there's two, on the stock, there's 2 scrapes either side, where the wood has been scraped away, because what's happened is that some idiot has hit this thing so hard, obviously with, I don't know, with a punch or something, and just peened it right over, peened it so far over that it's creating a surface, it's created a surface on either side where it just scrapes the wood off. So it would be a lot easier to remove without that peening. So what I'll do is I'll try and peen that back into place and flatten it out and just clean this thing up a bit. Just, you know, when you're talking, oh, who knows who was working in the armoury when they converted this to 3. I don't know who did it, whether it was the Germans, the Israelis. I'm not going to blame anyone in particular, but someone did a really nasty job of it. So what I'll do now is knock this pin out, and we'll get to work to put a new spring in, because 8 pounds is oh, that one's coming nice and easy. All right. This pin hasn't been butchered, unlike on that Spanish Mauser, and we got like cosmoline in there still. This pin hasn't been butchered. That one on the Spanish Mauser is a bit of a mess. So same story, it's a really heavy spring. So I'll keep it there so I'll know it's the original spring. It's a bit shorter. That's one thing I think. Has it been cut? It's flat there. No, it hasn't been cut, and it's shorter. So that might be why it's a little bit lighter, but it's about the same tension in the spring. Now, which spring will I put in there? So, give this a good oil. So I use TF2 lubricant spray with Teflon. Yeah. Just give it a complete coat. Very liberal, generous coat. Some people might say it's too much, but yeah, better too much than not enough. And I'll take some of that, put it on the pin, next to it. So I'll let that dry. Now, what I shall do is, I really do need to do a number on that. Yeah, I'll do that off camera. But this screw that holds the front band on, that was, I don't know whether there's supposed to be something there that it screws into. But it's supposed to screw into something, I think. Okay, so I'm back. Well, I tuned it back over as much of it as I could. There's a fair bit of this thing's a bit of a mess. They've really, someone's really done a number on it. Obviously got impatient, trying to take it off and just beat the crap out of it. Yeah, it's got marks everywhere, eh? So I'll just take them off so they're not scraping the wood each time it goes on and off. Don't like doing this, but you've really got to do it, otherwise. Stock gets damaged. That pin's still there. Okay, that's out. Look at that, man. They're beating the bejesus out of this thing. They really have. Move that out a bit. Not a huge fan of using files on firearms parts, but you got to do what you got to do, eh? They made a mess of this. Like, really, someone has really buggered it good. Still okay, but yeah. People who get impatient and just start hammering away. I know I've been guilty of it too, but not to the extent that this thing has copped a beating. That's a lot better. Alright, so now let's get to reassembling this thing. First, give it a good old, oh, that's a bit too big there. Yeah, where the brake cleaner is dried, I can see a bit of residual gunk residing. A bit of rust there. Yeah, the brake cleaner sort of revealed some rust that I didn't see before. Interesting. Alright, so we got the trigger back on. Where the Gewehr 98 is. So one thing I've found out is that it's interesting how it was redone as a car 98 from a Gewehr 98. Scrap it out. What they did to the front band, I'm not sure. Get that rust out of there. Not sure how it was originally meant to be, but it's sort of a bit of a half-assed affair now, which I'm not too happy with. It is what it is. Alright, so let us give this an oil. All over. We'll put the give it a good old once over with the oil. It's obviously technically too much, but not enough is worse. And you really got problems. So we'll install the reinstall the doohickey, which uses that screw. Give that a clean. The ejector and bolt release. This battery's really lasting. Excellent. So that goes like that. Press it in. So there is a spring inside the mechanism that you've got to press. That's why it's got a sharp point on it, so you can line it up easily. Otherwise, it's a bit of, I think it is anyway. Otherwise, it's a bit of a bugger to line up. So I didn't disassemble that. Didn't need to really, I don't think. Alright, so that's on. Now what needs to go on? The magazine well. No. What needs to go on now? Needs to go in stock. Yeah. Alright, so we pop him in the stock. Oh, actually, hang on. Let's before we do anything, just make sure we haven't lightened this trigger to a ridiculous amount. Alright, so here goes the bolt. It's cocked. Let's have a look. Ready? Clear. Ready? Oh, 6 pounds? No, you're kidding me. No way. Yeah, that's heavier than I thought. Let's try again. There, ready? Take up is 5 pounds 12. It's not as light as I thought it might be. I might put the other spring in, because that's only going to get heavier once it's in the stock. I'm going to put the lighter spring in, bugger it. So I'll knock that back out. That's pretty. Yeah, that's interesting. This spring, the CZ spring, is the same length as the stock spring. It's really, because this is a different, much simpler setup than the Model 95, the Spanish Mauser. Oh wow, that's really light. No, that might be too light. No, it's still two-stage. You still get that take up. It doesn't just break, you know. Surprise, surprise. Ready? 5 pounds 6 ounces. That's really light. So I'm not going to go any lighter than that. Right, put him back in stock. Put him back in the stock. Now that it's back in the rifle, it doesn't feel a whole lot lighter, but it does feel lighter. So I'd say it's probably going to be 6 pounds. I'll make a prediction. Some more beer. It was 8 pounds before. Oh, really clear. £6, 8 ounces. £5. Yeah, all right. £6. £5, 14 ounces. So you're looking at about high 5s, low 6s. £5, 6 ounces. Alright, so between 5.5, 6 pounds. That is a fair bit of difference. That's more than 2 pounds less. Can't really complain about that compared to 8 pounds. Yeah. I don't think there's any more potential to make it any lighter because that spring that I put in is really light. Like, look at that. Look at that. That's how light it is. Once it's cocked, it's not that light. You got that take up. Yeah, so that spring is really light. Nice. Alright, so I'll put everything else back together. Which is no good. No bueno. You gotta get them both in at the same time, which is a bit of a mission. Man, that's a mission. It's really been difficult. Take some more meat off it. I don't want to do too much because it might stuff it. But being such a bastard, shouldn't be that hard. Should be just a case of just pushing it, moving over, but it's not. It's really difficult. Oh, there we go. So it was just taking a burr off. It was just taking a bit of a burr off, and that's not moving. Whew. Man, so I'll just I'll take the excess oil off it. What a mission, hey? What a mission. And I've got oil all over it. That's all right. That's good. It won't get rusty. So, as I've said before, I've reduced the trigger pull to it before this battery dies. Nothing. Ready? Clear. Ready? Clear. Ready? Alright, 6.2. Oh, 6.2. 6.2. Yeah, ready? Six two. What? That's. Is it that? 6.612 there, from 6.2 to 6.12. I might have done something different. Ready? Six three. So around 6 pounds 2 ounces, 6 pounds 3 ounces. That's 6.12. I must have done something wrong. All right. So it's gone from 8 to 6. 2 pound drop. Now that spring is an extremely light CZ 455 spring, 452, 455 spring. You may not want to do that. I mean, it's almost flopping. No, it won't flop, but that's how light it is. You may not want to do that, but the benefit is that so it gets to there and then breaks. Something I notice is it does get floppy once you've taken it up, so only pull that trigger when you're sure that you're going to shoot, because it gets a bit floppy otherwise. That's alright. So success again. Now I just got to put this this thing back on. So how does it go back on? Let me see if I can remember. No, it doesn't matter. I'll get that hood on later. But anyway, I've fixed it. Well, not fixed it. I've improved it. It's 6 pounds now. Not going to get it any lighter. That's the lightest spring that I put in there. So anyway, till then, see you later.